Looking to buy a John Deere zero turn, and as you can see we have a few, so here's my advice. I've run in a landscaping business for about 30 years, and until about 17 years ago we ran the old style John Deere 400 series, so like the 425, 445, 455, those sort of things. They worked great, but then we upgraded to the zero turns. One of the first zero turns we ever bought was this 777, and this one has almost 3,000 hours on it, still going strong. Highly recommend it. I came over here and got some 757s as well. We bought 3 of those in 2007. Next year in 2008, we bought a 997 and an 830A. Then we've added quite a few to the collection, and we're at about 20. Pick one best all-around tractor, it would definitely have to be the 777. It has good power. It's a gasoline engine, so it's pretty simple. It's water cooled, which helps out a lot. And it's also got the 60-inch deck. We have a large acreage property. 60-inch I think is really the way to go. 72, which we have over here on these diesels. We've had 3 of these. They're good, but they're hard when you're trying to do hills and stuff. And then we've also had a 54-inch deck on a 737, and it just is a little bit too small. If you're looking for something a little bit cheaper, but still very good power and good price for the money, I recommend the 757. It's air-cooled, which isn't as good as the water-cooled, but it's a little bit simpler than the 777, and it's still got the 60-inch deck, and it can go through just about anything you want. This 930R, we bought 1 season ago, so we haven't run it too much, but really happy with the way it's gone so far. In 2008, when we bought an 830A, we didn't like that one at all. We ended up putting about 1,500 hours on it. It never seemed to work properly. The brake never stayed on, so it would roll around, and the hydraulics weren't balanced and stuff. We just didn't like it. Now, if you're looking for something that's got good power, really comfortable, and actually really fast, I'd go for a 997 or a 997R with a 60-inch deck. I prefer the 997, a little bit simpler. There's no electronic gauge cluster or anything, and we've never actually had anything mechanical fail on these. It's always just been, you know, the fuel pump or the fuel solenoids or any of the relays or something like that. We really prefer the side discharge decks, and you can just get the mulch kit for it for whenever you're doing leaves or early spring stuff. And then during the summer, you can take that off, and usually we'll just flip these up, or sometimes they'll just break off, and then it spreads the grass out really nice over about 2 passes, and then just spreads it out and you don't see any clumps. Tractor we just picked up this year, and it is a 60-inch deck 997, but it's actually a rear discharge, so it shoots out the back there. It's all right, but we think in wet conditions it'd probably clump up quite a bit. I do highly recommend is this suspension seat. It's really nice because you can you don't hurt your back as much and whatnot, and really just helps you and just makes it so much more enjoyable. The reason why I prefer the 997 to the 997R is because this one has the regen and EGR and all that stuff, and just sort of complicates it. Overall, if you're looking for a really good mower, it's got lots of power and relatively no reliability issues, I'd go for the 777. With big power and big cutting ability, definitely the 997. We've cut through 5 feet of thick grass in this, and it didn't even have a problem. Note is we always like to run the rollover protection down, because in the case that we're mowing around trees or something, the machines are more than capable, if that gets caught on something, to flip it over. So just sort of a safety thing we don't like to have to deal with. All in all, whatever mower you buy, make sure you're always changing the oils, keeping up on maintenance, repairing belts when they're worn out, and greasing them up regularly to keep them going for 3,000 hours.